Namaskaraha. Namaskara to all. We'll start in a while. Just giving some time for the participants to join. I'm sorry for the delay. There was a technical glitch. Namaskaraha. Vande tam madavaranendra vadanam madbhagatheya kritim shundadanda suchalanena jagatam mayantaraya mayan vidravya pranati prasanna hridayo yo nukta eva swayam rakshatyanvahamatmanoti virudam vaityesha putrabhitam. Before we start, I just want you to confirm if I am audible, if it is loud and clear. Can one of you confirm, please? Yes, Balasubramanian Mahodaya. Yes.
Namaskara, Mohoday. You are visible and audible.
Namaskar.
Screen is also clear. Thank you.
Sorry?
You are visible and audible, both.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
No. So we'll do a quick recap. We had a week's break, so we will just see where we were. So we were seeing the samvada conversation that was happening between the two jackals, Karataka and Damanaka. So Karataka is a person who is very, what can we say, somewhat traditional, okay, and is averse to taking risks. So he is warning Damanaka against getting himself into a vyapara that is not his business. Avyaparena alam iti Karatakaha vadati kam vadati Damanakam vadati. So he's saying this to Damanaka, that please don't meddle in affairs that are out of your reach, that are not in your it's not your area of expertise. So, and then Damanaka gives various reasons as to why it is necessary for him to involve and get back his position and regain a better position, why it is important for him and for the larger family and for his entire kula, and how it is very mean to just care about oneself and to care about your own survival, how it is not a great idea, and what is great is to do something that will benefit the larger society or the larger kula. So he produces those arguments, and then Karataka starts saying, Karataka aha avam tavad apradhanavu tat kim avayoho anena vyaparena. Fine, your reasons are fine, but then we are apradhanas. So even if we want to say something, and let us say that we have enough reasons, just like you mentioned, to justify our, involving ourselves in that business, even then we are apradhanas. We are not important to the king. Okay, so we are bhrashtadhikaras. We have fallen from our position. That being our case, why should we meddle with the affair? Because we will not get the deserved respect. Okay, is what Karataka says. And now we'll go to continue the samvada. I think we saw this verse last class, but revisit it now. Aprishtotra pradhano yo blute rajñah purah pudhihi na kevalam asammanam labhate cha vidambanam. So, aprishtaha apradhanaha sanni yaha pudhihi. So, somebody being an apradhana, having known one's position to be that of an apradhana, yaha kudhihi, that dim-witted fellow, aprishtaha, and without being asked. Atra Rajnaha Puraha Yaha Brute. So the one who attempts to talk in front of the king, here talk refers to advising or suggesting something to somebody who is not interested. How does one express one's interest? By asking. So if he is not asked and then this person talks, what happens to him? Na kevalam asammanam labhate. Na kevalam asammanam labhate. Not only does he get asammana, dishonor, disrespect, vidambanancha labhate. Vidambanam here refers to ridicule. He also becomes a laughing stock. Okay. So should not be done. Udhihi, utsita dhihi yasya saha. Dhihi yasya buddhihi yatha. So the one whose intellect is utsita, has fallen, it is not in its right place. Okay. So only an unintelligent, dim-witted fellow will attempt to give free advice. Is what Karataka is saying. Never give free advice. Never give advice to somebody who is not interested, who has not asked. Otherwise, you will be disrespected and mocked. That is Karataka's argument. He continues. Vachas tatra prayoktavyam yatroktam labhate phalam sthayi bhavati chatyantam raga shuklapate yatha. Again. Vachas tatra prayoktavyam yatroktam labhate phalam sthayi bhavati chatyantam raga shuklapate yatha. So we'll do the padacheda. Vachaha tatra prayoktavyam yatra uktam labhate phalam sthayi bhavati cha atyantam ragaha shuklapate yatha. So where should you talk? Where should one attempt to give a suggestion or an advice? Tatra vachaha prayoktavyam. Tasmin sthale vachaha prayoktavyam. Only in that place should you attempt to talk. Okay. Should you use wise words, words of suggestion, advice. Only in that place where yatra uktam phalam labhate. So where you know for sure that your words will be heard. Okay. Phalam labhate. Phalam means the result or a fruit, right? So yatra uktam, that which is told gets the required attention or gets some kind of a purpose fulfilled. There is some prayojana for your words. Only in that place should you talk. Otherwise, keeping mum is the best course of action. So how should this, how should the advice be taken? There is an example that is given for that. There is a udaharana. He says, Yatha shuklapate ragaha atyantam sthayi bhavati tha vachasa bhavitavyam. Okay. So how should your words be taken? Now, shukla pata. Pata means a piece of cloth. Okay. And it is shukla. Shukla is white. So shukla pate. So in a piece of white cloth, Yatha ragaha atyantam sthayi bhavati. So if you are going to, color a white cloth, okay, with a red color, let us say red paint in the white cloth, it will stay forever, right? So ragaha atyantam sthayi bhavati. So sthayi means staying for a very long time. Okay. Atyantam sthayi bhavati. So it stays for a very long time. What? Raga. Raga stays in a piece of a white cloth for a very long time. Similarly, your words should also stay for a very long time. It should get into one's head. It is not like it is heard through this year and gone out of that year. So if the situation is such, you better do not speak. You only speak when you are asked for. So Karataka says, there is no ground for Damanaka to start advising the king now because he has not been asked by the king. It is Damanaka who is volunteering to go and talk to Pingalaka. So that is not fine, is what Karataka says. Now, again, Damanaka has counter arguments to this position of Karataka as well. He says, Damanakaha aha ma maivam vada. Ma evam vada. So please don't talk like this. Okay. Evam ma vada. Shukla pata. Pata is a piece of cloth. Pata. Shukla is white. That is why we have these two pakshas, Shukla Paksha and Krishna Paksha. So Krishna Paksha starts from Purnima to Amavasya. So what happens to the moon then? Okay. So starting from the full moon, it is, reducing and going towards Amavasya when we don't get to see the moon at all, right? That is why it's called the Krishna Paksha. Gradual Krishna. Gradually it is blackening. Similarly, Shukla Paksha is the gradual whitening of the moon, starting from Amavasya to Purnima, where it gradually, the brightness of the moon increases. That is why it is called the Shukla Paksha. Shukla means white. So Shukla Pata is a piece of a white cloth. Okay. Damanakaha aha maivam vada. So please don't speak like this. Okay. Is what Damanaka says. Why? So you are saying that because we are apradhana, we should not talk. But you know what I think? It is because I don't talk, okay, or it is because I don't serve the king that I am apradhana. But when I start serving the king and impressing my master, immediately I will become pradhana. Okay. So my taking up the seva dharma, okay. So my talking to the king will take away our apradhanatva and we will become pradhanas immediately. That's what he is saying. How? Apradhanav pradhanasyat sevate yadi parthivam pradhanopya pradhanasyad yadi seva vivarjitaha. Apradhanav pradhanasyat sevate yadi parthivam pradhanopya pradhanasyad yadi seva vivarjitaha. Do the Padacheda now. Apradhanaha. Pradhanaha syat. Sevate yadi parthivam. Pradhanaha api. Pradhanopya pradhanaha. Isti pradhanaha api apradhanaha syat. Yadi seva vivarjitaha. It's an easy verse. What is he saying? Yadi parthivam kopi sevate. So if there is somebody who is serving the king, who is advising the king, okay, tarhi apradhanaha pradhanaha syat. Then even though he is apradhana, he will become pradhana by the virtue of counseling the king. Just by counseling the king, one becomes pradhana. So apradhana here means even if he is an apradhana because of other reasons in the society, let us say, like the case of Damanaka, they are bhattadhikaras. They once enjoyed a high post and now they have fallen. Or it could be that they do not enjoy a considerable standing in the society because of their family or because of the wealth that they possess or any of that reasons. They will become pradhana immediately. They will immediately get social respect just by associating with the king and providing him appropriate counsel. So see, one thing that we should note in Panchatantra is, even though the king is considered to be the most powerful, so if we see the hierarchy that is shown here, the most powerful person is the king, no doubt. But then the most aspirable position for anybody in the society is not that of the king. So Panchatantra does not seem to motivate a reader to aspire to become the king. Okay. But instead, it motivates one to aspire for the position of Pradhana Mantri. It motivates one to do Seva Dharma. Okay. So Seva Dharma is emphasized. Seva Dharma is the duty of serving. Service to the king is emphasized, and the most coveted post is the post of the prime minister. Why? Because he is the chief strategist to the king. Okay. So the king mostly, if we look at the worldview of Panchatantra, king mostly does two things. One is attacking the enemy, waging a war. Okay. So when there is a pressing situation, a king resorts to war and, how to deal with the enemy, and with the help of the council of his ministers, he tries to save himself against when there is a pressing situation, when there is an enemy at the door. Otherwise, when everything is fine and cool, what is happening? The king resorts to a life of pleasure. Okay? He does not bother himself with the everyday duties, who gets what should be done, what should not be done. All this is taken care by the Prime Minister. So the Prime Minister is the chief strategist here, and he is the one who advises on niti, appropriate strategy to the king. So that is the most coveted post, not the position of the king. So that is what Damanaka is saying here again. Yadi parthivam kopi sevate tarhi saha apradhanaha api pradhanaha bhavishyati. So even if one is not a pradhana, he will become a person of importance just by serving the king. Yadi seva vivarjitaha tarhi pradhanaha api apradhanaha syat. So what happens when one does not have perform his duty of seva, when he is not serving the king, pradhanaha api kalakramena apradhanaha bhavishyati. So even if one is a pradhana by the virtue of birth or by the virtue of association with wealthy people, with the businessmen, that and this, naturally he has been bestowed the post of pradhana. But what will happen gradually if he does not associate himself with the king or counsel him, serve him? Gradually he will become a pradhana. Nobody will care for him because there is somebody else who is more powerful making important decisions. So this person's social status will gradually diminish. Pradhanaha api alakramena apradhanaha bhavishyati. Seva vivarjitaha yadi bhave. So if he is deprived of seva dharma, this will happen. The next verse. Asannameva nripatir bhajate manushyam vidya vihinam akulinam asamskritam va prayena bhumipatayah pramadalatascha yat parshvato bhavati tat pariveshtayanti. Asannameva nripatir bhajate manushyam vidya vihinam akulinam asamskritam va prayena bhumipatayah pramadalatascha yat parshvato bhavati tat pariveshtayanti. It's a very nice verse. It talks of the behavior of a king, of a person who is the most powerful. It could be applied today also, but there is a controversial point here. We come to that. So maybe people will not agree to this. Moreover, today I think is International Women's Day, right? So there is a controversial point about women that he's making. We'll do the Padacheda first. Asannam eva nripatihi bhajate manushyam vidya vihinam akulinam asamskritam va prayena bhumipatayah pramadaha lataha cha. Prayena bhumipatayah pramadaha lataha cha yat parshvataha bhavati tat pariveshtayanti. Yat parshvataha bhavati tat pariveshtayanti. So he says, what is the tendency of a king? Nripatihi raja asannam manushyam eva bhajate. Asannaha means nikataha, so the one who is close. Okay. So the tendency of a king is to listen to a person who is close to him, whoever that might be. Okay, he could be vidya vihina, he could be akulina. Okay, two visheshanas for asanna manushya is mentioned here. Vidya vihinam akulinam api asannam manushyam eva. So a king naturally tends to listen to a person that is close to him. He could be Vidya Vihina. Okay. He might not be a very learned person. He need not have the backing of a very good kula. He need not be a kulina that is born in a great kula. That is nothing to back him up, neither by birth nor by acquirement. Okay, so he has not acquired learning. He is not a Vidyavan. He is not a Vidwan. He is not a kulina also. Even then, somehow, if he influences and becomes very close to the king tends to listen to that person. Okay, so this is something that is very natural. So see, Panchatantra once again is just making an observation, okay, on the society, and it is just presenting that. It is not, Panchatantra does not have some new ideology which is being pushed. Sorry, I think there is one pada that has been missed in the Anvaya. Asamskritam. He can be Asamskrita. Okay. He need not have a very good samskara. That is, he is Vidya Vihina. By that itself, it follows that somebody who is Vidya Vihina should be Asamskrita. Okay. Only because Vidya makes us better. Okay. Vidya makes us samskara. It makes us samskara yuktas. Otherwise, we are all samskara hinas. So even that being the case, the king will entertain such a person. This is something that we find even today. See, the king can be very capable. Okay, for example, take somebody. We could have, for example, a very nice chief minister or a very nice prime minister today, but then he likes it or not likes it. He is, he has a tendency to listen to the bureaucrats who are there, who have risen to a great position. Okay, so he will invariably listen to the advices of those bureaucrats. Okay, he will not fire them so easily. Okay, so this can sort of be compared, okay, to this verse. So even if the bureaucrat is an Asamskrita person, he is Vidya Vihina, he is a Kulina, even then he will be there because there are certain things that he would have learned over time. Okay, and even we see in so many movies today that so many of these people who are in influential positions today, they observe the politicians very closely and they know of their strengths and weaknesses, and maybe because of that they are very careful. They will not meddle with this person. Okay, so he will be forced to listen to this influential bureaucrat who is there. Similarly, okay, so whoever is nearby, also because of the king's laziness maybe, okay, that he is not interested in recruiting better ministers or anything, he will immediately fall to the advice of the person who is close to him. And this is compared to what? Prayana bhumipatayaha pramadaha lataha cha yat parshvato bhavati tat pariveshtayanti. So this, he says, is not unique to Rajas alone. Rajas bhumipatayaha pramadaha striyaha lataha, creepers. So all these three have a common characteristic. What is that? Yat parshvato bhavati. Whatever is near them, tat pariveshtayanti. So, they will just, go around that. Okay. So they will take them as shelter, just like a lata. Whatever, is there near it, it will take the support of that and the creeper will grow. Right? Similarly, women. Okay. So whoever is close to them, okay, they will take, their support. Okay, so they will take to their and under their shelter they will start growing. Okay, so why is this told? It is because that women are not independent usually, so they naturally want to be under the shelter of somebody. So whoever is nearby, they will take that. Okay, so prayana bhumipatayaha pramadaha lataha. It's a nice comparison. Lataha bhumipatayaha rajanaha yat parshvato bhavati. Whatever is nearby, tat pariveshtayan. Okay. Pariveshtana means just to roll up around that. Okay, so they will hug that. Okay, and they will start doing, because they don't mind who it is. They don't have enough viveka to analyze the goodness or the evilness of that which is found nearby. Just take the support and grow. Okay. This is what is mentioned here. So that is why, so Damanaka's point is that this is why I have to, it is important for me to advise, give proper counsel to the king. Okay. And it does not require anything, it does not require, of course, it requires some skill, but the kings are not so intelligent to check on the intelligence, or they do not have the capacity. Okay, they are not as learned as the Pradhana Mantris. Okay. So Pradhana Mantri naturally tends to be more intelligent than the king, because he is the one who is giving ideas and providing strategy to the king. So the king will listen to anybody that is close. So I can be that person. Why should I deny myself that opportunity? That's what Damanaka says. The next verse. Kopa prasada vastuni ye vichinvanti sevakaha arohanti shanaif paschad dhunvantamapi parthivam. Kopa prasada vastuni ye vichinvanti parthivaha. Sorry. Prayana, mostly. Okay. Prayana is mostly. It's not that there are no exceptions to this. Okay. Of course, there are always exceptions to any rule. Prayana is mostly. You go to this verse. Kopa prasada vastuni ye vichinvanti sevakaha. Arohanti shanaif paschad dhunvantamapi parthivam. So let us say there is a king who is not very graceful, who is very, what can I say? Dhunoti. The dhatu means somebody who is very aggressive, okay, who is putting down of others and so on. When such a king, okay, when such a king who is very aggressive, who puts down others, okay, and who is very difficult to please, such a king can be pleased. How? Ye sevakaha, those sevakas, Rajyaha kopa prasada vastuni vichinvanti. So those who try to gather the knowledge of those things that will please the king and will make the king angry. Rajyaha kopa prasada vastuni. Kopa vastuni prasada vastuni. Those that anger the king, those that bring him anger, kopa, and those that bring him prasada, pleasing. So those vastus that bring anger to the king and those vastus that please the king. Ye sevakaha vichinvanti. So those sevakas that understand these things, te sevakaha paschad anantaram kalakramena. In due course, what happens? Dhunvantam parthivam api shanaihi arohanti. Dhunvanta is somebody who is very, very aggressive, who is putting down, who is disdainful, who is very difficult to please. Tadrisham rajanam api shanaihi arohanti. So they arohanti means they, see, arohana means to climb up, right? So they gain ascendancy, it means, okay? They gain ascendancy means what? They overpower even such a king, okay, who is very aggressive and disdainful outwardly, okay? When looked at the first sight, he appears somebody who is very, very difficult to please. But gradually, if somebody is able to have an intimate knowledge of his weakness and strength, okay, that which makes him angry is his weakness, okay, and that which pleases him, okay, you can take it as his strength, okay, his comfort zone and things that he is not comfortable with. If the prime minister is able to get an intimate knowledge of these things, he can rule over that king. Dhunvantam parthivam api shanaihi arohanti. They overpower even such a king. Shanaihi, it happens slowly, but it will definitely happen. It is sure to happen. So dhunoti, dhu is the dhatu. When you add shatru pratyaya, you will say dhunvan, dhunvantau, dhunvantaha, dhunvantam. Dvitiya vibhaktau ekavachane rupam bhavati. Dhunvantam parthivam. It becomes a visheshana to this. Parthivaha is Raja. Parthivam dvitiya vibhakti. So they gain superpower, they gain power over such a king as well, who is Dhunvanta, okay, who is very aggressive, who is very disdainful, who is very difficult to please. Next verse. Vidyavatam mahechanam shilpa vikramashalinam seva vritti vidam chaiva nashrayaf parthivam vina. Vidyavatam mahechanam shilpa vikramashalinam seva vritti vidam chaiva nashrayaf parthivam vina. So again, he says, Parthivam vina ashrayaha naiva. Sorry, we'll do the padacheda and then come to that. Vidyavatam maha ichhanam mahechanam. So samasta pada is also a sandhi here. Maha ichhanam mahechanam shilpa vikrama shalinam seva vritti vidam cha eva na ashrayaha parthivam vina. So parthivam vina ashrayaha naiva. There is no other ashraya. There is no other refuge other than the king. Okay, so the king is the only refuge. For whom? For so many people. Vidyavatam. So Vidyavan. Okay, so somebody who is very learned. Vidwan ityarthaha. Vidwan. So Vidyavan, Vidyavat shabdasya shashti vibhaktau bahuvachane Vidyavatam. Vidyavataha, Vidyavatoho, Vidyavatam. So this is shashti bahuvachana root. So Vidyavatam, for all those who are learned, to all those who are learned. And then Mahechana, Mahecha. So somebody who has a very, very high ambition. So very ambitious people. Okay. To all those who are very ambitious and to all those who are learned. And then Shilpa Vikramashalinam. Shilpa is craft. So Shilpa Vikramashali. So those who are very good craftsmen. It could be any craft. Okay. So Shilpa Vikramashalinam. Those who are extremely good craftsmen. And then Seva Vritti Vinam. And those who know the art of serving, who know the art of seva. Here serving means serving the king. Okay, so royal servitude is what is referred to here. Seva vritti vidam. So the one who knows seva vritti with. Okay, so yaha janati. So the one who knows the art of serving, for all these people, to all these people, parthivam vina ashrayaha naiva. There is no other refuge than the parthiva, than the king. Prithivyaha ishvaraha parthivaha. So the lord of the bhumi, the lord of the prithvi is called parthiva. There is no other refuge. So these people cannot be shy about approaching the king because he is the very refuge of these people. If not for him, these people cannot be supported. So who will support the scholars? The king has to support. Similarly, highly ambitious people who are interested in growing up in the professional ladder, they also need the support of the king because that is where it is the most happening place in the town. The royal palace and whatever is surrounding the king, be it in military, this or that, administrative positions, everything goes around the king. So if somebody who has high political or professional ambitions, they have to go to the king. Similarly, all craftsmen, great craftsmen, they have to be under the patronage of a king. Similarly, those who wish to serve. Okay. and take up ministerial positions and provide other kind of administrative services. They also are dependent on the king. So there is no other ashraya, refuge, other than the king for these people. Next one. Ye jatyadi mahotsahan narendran nopayanti cha tesham amaranam bhiksha prahayaschittam vinirmitam. Ye jatyadi mahotsahan narendran nopayanti cha tesham amaranam bhiksha prayaschittam vinirmitam. So he is now, quite angry with Karataka, and he says, see, people with the attitude of yours, okay, so who are now, who are shy and who do not want to approach the king, fearing so many things. There is only one thing, okay. So there is a prayaschitta. First of all, they are doing a great papa, according to me. So there is a prayaschitta for them. What is that? Tesham amaranam bhiksha prayaschittam vinirmitam. So such people like you, the only prayaschitta for them is that you should survive only on bhiksha until your death. Amaranam maranakala paryantam bhiksha eva bhikshacharya prayaschitta rupena nirmitavar. So it has been decided that the prayaschitta for you people is just, serving on alms. You just have to survive on alms for until the end of your time. Ye jati adi mahotsahat narendran na upayanti cha tesham amaranam bhiksha prayaschittam vinirmitam. Ye jatyadi mahotsahat narendran na upayanti. Upayana means to approach, to go near. Ye narendran na upayanti. Those who do not approach the king. Tesham amaranam bhiksha. So for them, until their death, maranakala paryantam bhiksha prayaschitta rupena nirmita. So it has been decided that the only prayaschitta for such people is to survive on bhiksha for their entire lives. Nothing else can be done with you people. Now, and how should the king be approached? Ye jatyadi mahotsahat. See, mahotsaha. Mahotsaha, utsaha means enthusiasm. Right? So mahotsaha means great enthusiasm. Okay. So those people, due to their enthusiasm, because of what? Because they have pride in their lineage, jati adi. Okay. So it also refers to pride in their own abilities, okay, and pride in their lineage and their skills and their own intellectual abilities, etc. Though motivated by the confidence, okay, and having enthusiasm because of that. So motivated by all this, if you do not approach the king, motivated by all this, those who do not approach the king, they have to take recourse to bhiksha. That's all. Nothing else can be done for you people. And then now again he is coming back at Karataka. Ye chaprahu duratmanu duraradhyam mahi bhujaha pramadalasya jadyani shapitani nijanitaihi. Ye chaprahuruduratmano duraradhya mahi bhujaha pramadalasya jadyani shapitani nijanitaihi. And those dushtatmas like you, duratmanaha like you, he is referring to Karataka only. Mahi bhujaha duraradhyaha iti prahu. I'm sorry, once again I forgot to do the sandhi chera. Ye cha prahuhu duratmanaha duraradhyaha mahi bhujaha pramada alasya jadyani chapitani nijani taihi. Yecha duratmana, those duratmas, those fallen beings. Mahibhujaha duraradhyaha iti prahuhu, those who declare that it is very difficult to please these kings. Mahibhujaha, Mahibhuj is a king, Mahibhuk, okay. So is a king, Raja, Mahipati. Mahipatayaha duraradhyaha, aradhitum. Okay. So they are very difficult to please. Aradhana means pleasing. Okay. So their aradhana is very dushkara. It cannot be done. It is very, very difficult. So those who say like this, iti prahuhu, evam ye vadanti, those who speak like this, what can be told about them? Taihi, by those people, nijani pramada alasya jadyani khyapitani bhavan. So by saying such words, what is it that they show to the world? All that is manifested by them. Khyapita is to manifest. Okay, it is told. Okay, it is expressed. What is expressed? Nijani, one's own, pramada, alasya, and jadya. So by saying such things, by speaking such ill-informed, vakyas, what is it that they are showing to the outside world? They are expressing their own pramada, alasya, and jadya. Jadya is ignorance. Okay. Alasya is laziness. Right? We know that. Alasyam is laziness. Jadyam is ignorance. Pramada here refers to negligence. Okay. They're not interested. Okay. It only shows their pramada, their negligence, nothing else. The statement is not true. Okay. But those who speak such things are expressing their own ignorance, pramada, and alasya. That's all. The statement itself does not have any element of truth whatsoever, is what Damanaka says. Yecha duratmanaha, those ill-informed people, those fallen people, mahibhujaha duraradhyaha, things are very difficult to please. Iti prahuhu, evam vadanti, those who say like this, taihi, by those people, nijani, one's own pramada alasya jadyani khyapitani, one's own pramada, negligence, alasya, laziness, and ignorance are expressed. That's all, nothing else. Why does Damanaka say so? I think we do not have time for this. We'll close here because there is another class that has to start at 8 o'clock. So we'll continue tomorrow. Just take any questions if there are any. Since the Panchatantra is being taught to princes, they aspire to become kings in time. Yeah, see, that is true. Okay. It is taught to princes who aspire to become king. That is true. But the thing is, if we look at the details, they are not people who aspire to become the king. Okay. Because see, kingship is determined by heredity only. Okay. It is not an aspired post. One cannot become the king just like that. Okay. So it is more like that person is chosen as the king. Okay, so the text tries to impart the knowledge of Niti to that king. Okay, it is like more or less he has already been chosen. Okay, but the prime minister is not like that. The post of a prime minister is an aspirable post. It can be aspired by anybody. Okay, and the text tries to convey that the most important person for a king is the prime minister because he is the strategist. So if we look at the perspective, if we look from the perspective of these learners who are going to become the kings, it is important for them to recruit and be in the company of intelligent prime ministers because it is their counsel that they will be listening to. So I think that is clear. why Karataka is giving advice if he says one should give advice only when asked. No, Damanaka and Karataka are a team. Okay. So Karataka is not an outsider to Damanaka. They are friends. They have been together all the time. Okay. So probably they are brothers. Okay. So he is just having a conversation with him. Karataka is not going out of his place to give free advice to somebody. Okay. Two sides of the same coin. Yes. Okay. Vichinvanti. Okay. Vichinvanti literally translates to searching. Okay. So those who find this out, those who search and find this. Okay. Find what? Okay. What was the verse? Kopa prasada vastuni. So those who find out, okay, that which pleases and that which angers them. Okay. See, pariveshtana. Pariveshtana means to, surround on all four sides. Okay. To hug. Okay. To go around, to surround on all four sides is pariveshtana. Pramadaha. Pramadaha is women. Okay. Parshvataha, nearby. Are there many hands that are raised? How many? Raised hands. Not many. I don't see any hands raised. Your voice was not clear. I'm sorry. Okay. Okay. I think I'll continue it in the next class because it is already 7:45. Yes, I think I have to close now. We'll continue tomorrow. Okay. So Pramada, why is she called Pramada? I will do that today. Okay. Khyapitam manyas dhunvantam. We'll see this tomorrow. Okay. Dhanyavadaha. Samapayamaha. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.